NCAA Baseball Championship presented by Capital One. Oh, they've been waiting for this all week here in Austin, Texas, where the #2 overall seed Longhorns are confident and cruising, and the dish is going to be absolutely rocking tonight as they face the Cinderella of the Supers, the University of South Florida, who won their regional as a 4 seed. We started last weekend with 64 teams. We started yesterday in the Supers with 16. We've already punched a couple of tickets to Omaha, and for these two teams, it's the best of 3 starting tonight, and the winner headed to the College World Series. And with that, we say hello and thanks for joining us with the great Eduardo Perez, Mike Monaco with you. We remembered to tie our ties. And Eduardo, we've already seen Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter this weekend. And tonight right here, we get a look at another potential first-round ace in Texas's Ty Madden.
Yeah, Ty Madden, no joke right here. They say they make them big in Texas. Well, this kid right here is big. He's gained 35 pounds ever since he joined the university, and I'm telling you this right now, 100 miles per hour, we could see that this evening. We'll also see this power slider. He throws it over the top. It's hard to recognize, and when you have excellent command to go along with those 2 pitches, it could be a long night for the Bulls if he is able to hit both sides of the plate well.
Yeah, it's quite the combination for Ty Madden, the Big 12 Pitcher of the Year, who fronts an excellent rotation for this Texas squad to come into the Supers. And he's going up against a South Florida team that told us, Eduardo, they're playing with house money, because as recently as 16 days ago, they were below 500. They win their conference tournament, and then as a 4 seed, they win the regionals, and they're in the Supers for the first time in program history.
Right, they started off as that 6th seed in their own conference. Then they were the 4th seed in the regional. And now, yeah, we're going to go to the 2 seed. So we're doing multiples here. You see what I'm doing? Exactly. The Bulls have done everything just to make sure that they are here at this moment. Now, how do you approach them? It's going to be interesting because they can pitch, they can hit, they can run. They do all the little things right. They need to be able to play defense here at the dish if they're able and if they want to celebrate either tomorrow or the next day. But game 1, inning 1, is going to be important for the South Florida team.
And you saw them doing just that, celebrating in Gainesville. They took down Florida, who was the 1 seed. They took down Miami, who was the 2 seed, a couple of in-state foes. And then they eventually got revenge against South Alabama. And here they are. We are just about set to get it started. Take a picture. It's going to be quite a night here coming up next.
The NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
It's horns up against Hook'em, and we are just about set to go from the dish. And this is the atmosphere that South Florida walks into under the direction of their 4th-year head coach, Billy Mole, a native of Sugar Land, Texas. And here is his starting group. They've dealt with a lot of injuries this year, but it's Carmine Lane, all-conference at the top, and then Riley Hogan, who swung it well, Eduardo, in the regional.
Yeah, switch hitting. This guy leads the team with a slugging percentage of .513. Look at the RBIs, the hits, the runs, total bases. Continues to do the job offensively. They're going to need him to pick it up exactly where it was in the AAC tournament and as well as the regional.
Off we go in the Super Regional between South Florida and Texas. We told you about Ty Madden with a 2.59 ERA, the 3rd-year sophomore right-hander. Ball and a strike to start out against Carmine Lane. 2nd-year freshman from Lake Placid, Florida, 2nd-team all-conference in the American, and on Wednesday named a freshman All-American. And he lines one to center, and it knuckles on Antico, but he makes the catch. Hello, out number 1.
Carmine Lane barreled this one straight up. And watch this ball take some action. Starts to the left of Antico, and that's a great adjustment from Antico, going to his right, reading the knuckle, and being able to go and make that play.
It's a really good defensive team for Texas. You see Carmine Lane, he's shaking his head as he goes back into the South Florida dugout. Ball one to start out to Riley Hogan. We told you about the redshirt junior from Orlando. You mentioned the slugging at .513. And in the regional, a home run, a couple of doubles as well. And he started that regional in a big way in their Friday game against Florida with a home run in that ball game to right field, part of a win over the Gators. This South Florida squad, as many as 3 different times over the course of the season, they were 5 games below the 500 mark. But Billy Mole has them rolling right into the supers. Atmosphere-wise, Eduardo, what do you think it's like for an underdog to come here into this?
This has to be exciting for them. The only thing that looks a little bit, and I'm talking about maybe 50% the capacity of it, was what they saw earlier on in the year in Texas Tech. They made 3. This is the 3rd trip that they've made to Texas. Texas Tech was one of them. Houston was the other. And now to Austin, the big daddy of them all.
Where capacity here is better than 7,300. 3-1 is skied to right field. It sends Doug Hodo back, now in, and 2 away for Ty Madden. Ty Madden came out hot in his last outing. He pitched Saturday in the regional right here at the Dish against Arizona State. And you said in the scouting report, Eduardo, he can touch 100. And his head coach, David Pierce, was saying he'll settle in lower than that, but especially in this environment, he can run it up there. 97.
It's straight over the top. Really good fundamentals on the bump. Doesn't mess around a whole lot.
Dots 98 to make it 0-2 on South Florida center fielder Roberto Pena.
And if he has that pitch working for him, that's the one that's going to give South Florida and any other team a lot of issues.
To that point, 11 pitches for Ty Madden, and they have all been fastballs here in the top of the first, kicking off the Super Regional. The 1-2. Strike 3 called. David Pierce is in his 5th season as the head coach here in Austin, recently named Big 12 Coach of the Year, and for the 2nd time in the last 3 chances, trying to get this Texas team to Omaha. And he's got a group that comes in after dominating the regional. They put up 33 runs, and Eduardo out of the 5 spot. The 3rd baseman, Cam Williams, he's fun to watch.
He is fun to watch. He's electric. He's a switch hitter. I love switch hitters when it comes to the college game. And the beauty about him is he can beat you on both sides of the plate. Good power from the right-hand side. Good recognition of the plate from the left-hand side. A lot of energy. Now, you talk about Zaziak on the mound. This is one guy right here that will set an AAC championship record with 12 strikeouts in his tournament outing against Tulane. Look for him to be able to hit both sides of the plate. Command is going to be a big issue for him. If he's able to hit those sides early on and keep his emotions in check, this could be a good outing and a good opportunity for USF to be able to give his opportunity to the offense.
2nd-year freshman from Spring Hill, Florida. And he told us when we were chatting with him yesterday, no one in the country probably thought we were going to be here, but we feel we've got nothing to lose, and we feel that our opponents have everything to lose when we go up against them. The Cinderella so far, one of 16 still alive at the start of the weekend. We've punched a couple of tickets already to Omaha with Vanderbilt and Stanford advancing. And off we go with the bottom of the 1st. Mike Antico made that nice catch in the top half. He's the center fielder and the St. John's grad transfer, a threat to run and a very patient hitter as well. The numbers for Antico at the top of a Texas lineup that put up 11 against Southern on Friday, 10 runs against Arizona State on Saturday, and a dozen on Sunday against Fairfield. 3 wins in 3 tries and on to the Supers.
This is an important at-bat right out of the get-go for Jasiak. Reason being, Antico at the plate. 23-game streak of getting on. So far, during that streak, 18 stolen bases in 19 attempts.
Good take by him on the fastball, tailing away into a 3-1 count. These are the numbers you're talking about. Getting aboard and running when he's on. Jasiak's 3-1 is outside and a 5-pitch walk. So Jasiak issues the walk. Eduardo, what should we expect from him stuff-wise?
Well, you see it right there on the bottom side of it. Biggest strength is command. He's got arm side run with the 4-seamer. Throws at 88 to 91 miles per hour. He's not going to overpower you. He's going to need soft contact in the defense to work for him.
Making his 16th start of the season. And Mitch Daly lofts one down the right field line as Cantu chases, and that's a foul ball. Almost got there.
Ball keeps running away from him right here. And let's not forget, the only time they were able to practice at this ballpark was yesterday. They came in, practiced for a couple hours. That was it. And then batting practice today. So Cantu getting familiarized with the conditions here in Austin.
And harmlessly strike one on Mitch Daly, true freshman second baseman from Madison, Alabama, outside of Huntsville. All Big 12 first team choice and a freshman All-American. Antico's on the move and he takes that one easily on the slider.
So many ways that the Longhorns can beat you. Speed is one of them. Doesn't get a great jump, but once he gets going, tough to get him stopped. Now it's 19 out of the last 20 times he's attempted to steal, he's made it.
And you see top left, 37 total. He came into the weekend 3rd in the country in steals. And now Daly bunts one foul into a 2-strike count. They love the bat-to-ball skills of Mitch Daly. Jasiak's 1-2. Elevates up and in.
It's a good pitch right there. Especially on 1-2. If you're sitting soft, you at least show that 91 up and in. It'll make it look, perceived velocity a little bit faster than that, and now it could open it up for a slider down and away.
2-2. He went to it. It kicks off of Jasiak, and Daly reaches. They're at the corners for Texas.
Slider down or away. Give a lot of credit right here to Daly. Just stays right back up the middle. Would have done the job moving Antico over to third, but this way now you have runners at first and third, no outs. And you got Zach Zubia, who has had a fantastic postseason so far.
And Billy Mole and company out to check on Jack Jasiak after taking that one off the leg. Well, here is Zubia, coming off being named the MVP of the regional here in Austin. Went deep against Arizona State on Saturday and had a 3-hit day Friday in the regional opener against Southern. had a chance to get Texas out to an early lead. First pitch swinging against the off speed.
And with so much speed at third base, and Mike Antico, Daly's at first. He's stolen 6 bases out of 10 attempts. Have to keep an eye on him now with no outs. You allow Zach Zubia to swing the bat. OPS of 966 coming into this game.
Jasiak spots a fastball to get ahead 0-2. Yeah, Zubia, honorable mention, all Big 12. He will work counts as well. David Pierce was saying to us, sometimes I think he's too patient at the plate. I'd like him to rip it a little bit more. Oh, 2. On the ground, left side, near the line. Lane goes to second. Not in time. It pulled Ruiz off the bag. Texas takes the lead.
This was one of the major concerns I would have had if I'm coaching USF, is the first inning. Try to get him out of it. Right here, he sits back and throws the ball over to Ruiz at second base. Watch Ruiz's foot come off the bag. It was an excellent call by second base umpire Joe Burleson. Now you have runners at first and second. The defense giving away outs against Texas, not a good idea.
The fielder's choice and then the error on Carmine Lane, South Florida's third baseman. Nobody out here, bottom of the first, for the dangerous cleanup hitter Ivan Melendez, the redshirt sophomore from El Paso, Texas. All conference first team. He homered last Friday against Southern. Swings through the slider. This guy has big time power, Eduardo.
He does, and it's to all from line to line. In batting practice, that's what he's shown, but then in the games, it's mostly from center field poolside. Watching him earlier today during batting practice.
Gets under this one, pops it up, shallow right center, and Ruiz has out number 1. So a 1-0 lead here in the first for Texas, the number 2 overall seed, 45-15 the record overall. Preseason number 9 team in the country. Dropped down to number 19 after that opening weekend when they dropped 3 in Arlington. But ever since the end of March, they've been in the top 5 and been sitting here the last few weeks as the number 2 team in the nation. This is Cam Williams out of the 5 spot, redshirt junior third baseman. Takes strike 1.
I think this is one of the most interesting guys in baseball, and it's because you see a lot of players now wearing the wristbands with the signs, the code, everything changes. Cam Williams doesn't wear the wristbands. He tapes it up, looks good, puts it in his back pocket. After every pitch, he'll pull it out, read it, and put it right back in his back pocket.
And then he's taking big swings.
Yeah. Now 0-2. I wouldn't be taking anything out of my back pocket. It's time to protect. Played with his father, Reggie Williams, in the Angels organization. Former big leaguer. Reggie used to have seeds in his back pocket. Never any signs.
I know you just watching him. You said there's a good confidence about Cam Williams.
There is. I see so much of his father in him. You know, broad-chested. He's got that swag going, and that it works for him. I'll tell you this, better hands than his father, as he's a third baseman. His dad was an outfielder.
Good take, 2-2. David Pierce, his head coach, said to us, the other team is scared of Cam Williams. He's so loud over at third base. A run already in, 1 out, 2 aboard here for the Horns in the first. And a full count, and Jasiak up and over 20 pitches now. Payoff pitch, and Jasiak slips.
This is why we just let it breathe. Again, the fans, they're not playing against just 9 players on the field and the bench. They're playing against the entire stadium. It's loud. And right then and there, the fans all standing up. As loud as it is in your living room, it's louder there at the ballpark.
What can prepare you as a pitcher who's not seen this? What can prepare you for this atmosphere?
This is the only preparation he has for it, Jasiak, right now. You don't see this in the AAC, in that conference. You don't see that when they go out of the conference to play. They did not see that in Gainesville.
Jasiak strikes out Williams, and it's a big out number 2 here in the first.
Went with the fastball, mano a mano right here. Look at the run arm side. Good job of keeping that ball in the plane. Good horizontal movement. Jasiak a little embarrassed after that balk. Now with 23 pitches under his belt. Takes the sign, and it's all about Douglas Hodo III.
Out of the 6th spot in the Texas lineup, he takes strike 1. Redshirt freshman right fielder. Honorable mention all Big 12. With an OPS above 800. He, like a lot of his teammates, swung it well in the regional here at the Dish last weekend. Nothing in 2. Boy, if Jasiak can keep this to 1 run, that would be a massive win for USF.
He's got to have to trust Sullivan right now behind the plate. You have a runner at third base. Either you can elevate the fastball, or you can go slider down in the dirt. They went away, they went safe.
Just shy of 60% fastballs for Jasiak. About a third of them sliders. Snaps off a slider, and it's popped up. Sullivan has a look, and it's into the seats. Off the ricochet.
15-run batted in for the Longhorns. Out of the 33 runs that they scored in the regional, those runs were scored with 2 outs. They battle, they grind. It's what they've done the entire season.
1-2. Hodo trying to do it again. It's on the ground to Gonzalez, and he ends the inning, so Jasiak limits the damage. Texas has the game's first run.
Believe it! They're going crazy out there, as they should. Bulls win it by the score of 6-4, and they are stockpiling dog piles at the right time of the year. History made by USF, and they are indeed not done yet.
Yeah, that was dogpile number 2 for Billy Moll's team, and what a turnaround it's been. We told you they've been as many as 5 games below the 500 mark. They were 4 under on May 21st, but since then, they've won 9 of their last 11, and Billy Moll said to us, this has been nothing short of amazing.
I can imagine when you're 22 and 26.
Daniel Cantu leads off the top of the second with a single into left center, and the first base runner for USF.
When you're 22 and 26, that late in the season, You've been swept a few times in a few series. All of a sudden, you are where you are. You have to be doing the little things right, and they have been. And you got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. They recognized where they were weak. They were weak in defense. They moved a lot of players around, and they put themselves in a position to succeed. And it all starts with pitching and defense, and that's one of the major ways they've been able to turn it.
And they're trying to become just the third regional 4 seed to reach Omaha since we went into this format back in 1999. Jake Sullivan's one of their co-captains, the catcher and a Tampa native. He's had some fighting words these last couple of weeks during this journey. He was talking last week with the media, and he remembered how one outlet in the preseason predicted them to win 12 games the entirety of the season, and that one clearly stuck with him over the course of the season.
And I think a lot of the outlets did not know what kind of freshman class was coming in. I mean, they have a lot of representation when it comes to the freshmen in this team.
And on top of that, they've dealt with, unfortunately, quite a few injuries as well. You mentioned the defensive shuffling. On the position player side, unlike anything that Billy Mole has really experienced before in his head coaching career. And he's had to shapeshift defensively quite a bit.
Absolutely, and a lot of players have had to play positions that they have not been accustomed to or played at all. Roberto Pena, infielder, now playing outfield. Not only playing outfield, he's playing center field.
Sullivan at one point himself, he had to reestablish himself as the catcher. He struggled out of the gates. He's in a 3-1 count here against Ty Madden. And now full count on Sullivan. Jake Sullivan was talking after they won the Gainesville Regional. As you see another ball visit the graveyard down the right field line. And Jake said, I'm the kind of guy that when I say something, I mean it. And I said before the regional, we can compete with anyone. And he works a walk here. And so the Bulls have the first 2 on here in the second after giving up a run in the home half of the first. The coaches voted in the preseason on the poll for the American. There's 8 teams, and USF was right at the bottom. So what did Billy Mole do? They went to practice one day, and he had his staff put this up on the scoreboard, and he used this as a motivating factor with his team right before the season even started.
That'll do it. Again, really good teams. Here we saw East Carolina just get eliminated right now by Vanderbilt. They had a solid team. UCF, just east of South Florida in Orlando, they were preseason selected to finish second. In South Florida, they started off like they were predicted to finish 8th, but they have just played excellent baseball, and Coach Mole has a lot to do with that.
Just got a visit from Texas pitching coach Sean Allen chatting with Madden, who cruised through the top of the first on just a dozen pitches, capped it off with a strikeout Pena. But now single walk to the 4 and 5 man for the Bulls. And now here's Matt Ruiz taking a cut at the first pitch.
How about this? There in that play, Texas had the wheel play going, and Matt Ruiz swinging away. See the defense. See exactly where Zubia is at first base. He's expecting a bunt right here. As a matter of fact, if you bunt this, it's supposed to go to third base. Make the third baseman field it. Now, if the wheel is on, you swing away. I doubt the wheel would be on here.
So now it's 0-2 on the true freshman from Hialeah. Moved around positionally as well. An outfielder in high school. He went from third base to center and then to second. Madden's 0-2. Ruiz strikes out. Strikeout number 2 for Ty Madden.
Well, one of the big reasons Texas thought that the bunt was going to be on is because of the strikeout ability that Ty Madden has on the mound. Wicked slider right there to get Ruiz, putting him away, and now you have 1 out, runners at first and second for Jared Eden.
Who was a big-time star in the Gainesville Regional. Strike 1 from Madden.
Goes with the slider.
You said it earlier, big downward break to it. Oh, 1. Eaton is in a 0-2 hole, getting a couple of off-speed pitches.
Well, Eaton showed the ability, both in the AAC tournament and in the regionals in Gainesville, to hit the fastball. It was the first time Madden started out any hitter with a slider. Now he has a 0-2. Let's see if he goes to the slider again and jerk.
Oh, 2. Threw it again, and Eaton back up the middle. Faltini steps on the bag and turns it into 2.
Faltini's been solid all season long at shortstop. Steps on that bag, throws it over to first, eliminates any kind of rally that USF was going to have in this inning. We'll see in the bottom of the second.
Game 1 in the best-of-3 Super Regional between South Florida and Texas, who has a 1-0 lead and just got out of a little bit of trouble behind Ty Madden with this double play.
Yeah, and another slider. This one stayed up, and Eaton gets jammed. Faltini knows exactly who's running. He's taking his time, making sure he gets one. Fundamentally sound right there. Puts the right foot on the bag. A strike over to Zuby at first base. And look who's loving it.
The fiery Ty Madden got the glove work from his redshirt freshman shortstop, who is oh so slick defensively. And he's got a pretty good mentor to learn from on the Texas staff in Troy Tulowitzki. Faltini pops this one up, and Riley Hogan's got it. 1 away for Jack Jasiak. Jasiak could use that. 28 pitches for him in the bottom of the first inning. Now to the 8th spot in the Texas lineup. This is the catcher, another redshirt freshman, Silas Ardoin. Out of Moss Bluff, Louisiana, just outside of Lake Charles, and he takes strike 1. Three for 10 with a double, 4 walks, and 4 driven in the regional. One. This is lifted toward right, and that'll find the seats, which are packed. They've been looking forward to this all week here in Austin.
What a beautiful night.
Steamy too. Temperatures in the 90s all weekend in Austin. That is strike 3 called. Second K for Jasiak, and there's 2 down.
Right about that, the second K for Jasiak, the first one looking. This one a slider, look at the late break on it. Just stays up. Ardoin couldn't pull the trigger right there. Now you have 2 outs, a better start to this inning in the first inning, and now you have Eric Kennedy up at the plate.
And certainly a different looking slider than the one Ty Madden used on those 3 pitches to Jarrett Eaton. And we were chatting with Jack Jasiak about it, and he said to us it's more cutting action to his slider.
Yeah, it's more of a cut action. If you see where his release point, it's just below the 3/4 mark. So you're not going to see a lot of vertical drop as we see with Madden. See, the shoulders are even when he throws. That's the first indicator that he is not getting on top of it, and he does not want that vertical drop to that slider. He wants it to move east to west more than north to south.
Eric Kennedy rolls it to first. Hogan flips in a foot race, and Jasiak got there in time. One, two, three, they go for Jasiak in the bottom of the second.
Kennedy showing his speed right here. You get the first baseman, Hogan, throwing it over. Surprised we don't get another look at it.
First, fully almost at the finish line. Dynamic braking system.
Vesco QQ, the innovators of the net. Q.
We don't here to help make the world bigger than Vesco Q.
If you, then your style makes always a way to make life better.
All right, so close play over at first that would have, and if it stands, will end the bottom of the second, but it goes to review. Let's have a look.
Watch exactly here. Look at Kennedy, where he steps on the bag, right in the front of it, beating Jasiak to it. And this has just got him reversed. You hear the fans in the background. They just overturned it. This is what speed does. They have it at the bottom of the order. They have it at the top of the order. And Tico now at the plate. Wouldn't be surprised if Texas now puts the pressure again on the Bulls here.
How about the Jets from Eric Kennedy? I mean, we can judge speed with the 20 to 80 scouting scale, but you can also look at it this way. Eric Kennedy's got 54 hits this year, and you see that's his 26th infield single.
Yeah, that right there is putting the burners on for Kennedy, who has 17 stolen bases in 21 attempts this season. He goes 1-1 count. It's time to roll.
Jasiak will check on Kennedy.
You have nothing to lose right here. We talk about University of South Florida playing with house money. Well, Texas right now, because they got the call reversed, are playing with house money here with Kennedy at first.
Eduardo, for the casual fan, this spot in the batting order, why is that the case with 2 outs?
Well, you have Kennedy, who has a lot of speed, and Tico has been getting on at a rampant pace as a leadoff hitter. He has unbelievable speed with 37 stolen bases. If you're out, you don't mind that Kennedy and Tico leads off.
And he drives this one deep to left center and off the wall. Kennedy can fly as he races around third, and Antico delivers. 2-0 Horns.
What a find for the Longhorns. This pitch down and away. He doesn't try to pull it. He goes with it, showing his pop to left center field. And Kennedy is already rounding second before that ball even hits the ground. He will score easily. Now with speed at second base, Mike Antico. And the Longhorns capitalize right now to that infield hit.
On the call getting reversed, Antico scores Kennedy, who ran down the line perfectly. As you were saying, the foot to the front of the bag, legs it out, and then scores all the way from first. That misses to Mitch Daly. And an infield single himself his first time off of South Florida starter Jack Jasiak.
Talked earlier how good they were in the regionals with 2 outs. Again, Texas doing it with 2 outs here to the Bulls.
Daly lofts this one toward the right center gap, and Pena locates it at the last moment. Not naturally an outfielder until the last few weeks. He and Cantu were trying to find it, and Pena did to end the inning. Texas leads on a gorgeous night in Austin. NCAA Baseball Super Regionals continue all weekend on the ESPN family of networks presented by Capital One. We've already seen a couple of tickets punched to Omaha in the College World Series. We're just getting started in this Super Regional late on a Saturday night, getting underway with those 2 spots already claimed, South Florida and Texas, in inning number 3 of that first game. With Eduardo Perez, Mike Monaco with you, our entire crew. And Ty Madden going back to work against 8-9-1 for USF, starting with Nelson Rivera. There's the slider on the 0-2 from Madden. Rivera from Puerto Rico, a true freshman who really swung it well in the regional. 5 for 15, drove in 4. Had a big game in the Saturday win over Miami, part of the 2-0 start to that regional for USF. And he strikes out here against the slider.
That's nasty, and now you can feel the man on the mound, Ty Madden. 3rd strikeout of the game, all of them with the slider. This one, top to bottom. We talked about his delivery. Now we see it different than Jasiak's, as it has a lot of bite coming down south.
He's got the explosive fastball that he just used for a swinging strike 1 to the 9-man Nick Gonzalez, and he's dealing a lot of first pitch strikes here out of the gates. And when you see him put batters away, he's often going to the slider. One and 2 on Gonzalez.
Really fluid delivery by Ty Madden. See the pitch breakdown right there with the fastball, slider. Sometimes he'll sprinkle in the changeup against lefty hitters, but 2 pitches, 2 dominant pitches, good enough here.
That is strikeout number 4, and they have all come on the slider for Ty Madden.
No, don't check your TV. Same pitch, down in the dirt, looks like a fastball, you commit. That's what you see. Nicky Gonzalez has not seen a slider like that since Devin Williams threw one in ECU to him.
So the first time through for Madden with the 4 Ks. Now back to the top for the leadoff man, Carmine Lane, who hit a knuckling line drive at Mike Antico in center field for the Longhorns to start this ball game. Had it all the way, Antico says.
Can of corn. This kid has an idea at the plate. Saw a really nice approach with the fastball up in the zone when he lined out to center field. He's laid off that slider in this one. Saw it all the way.
Works a walk here with 2 down in the 3rd.
Not a burner on the bases. USF plays station to station most of the time during the regular season and in the postseason. And with Riley Hogan coming at the plate already in this tournament, 1 home run, 12 on the season. They're looking for 1 swing of the bat to tie it.
And Riley told us yesterday, as 5 straight balls going to get a visit here from Ardwan. Riley Hogan was saying to us right now his bat feels better than it has at any point all season because of what you're talking about, a home run already in the NCAA tournament, a 6-game hitting streak during which he's gone deep 3 times. He's had a winding road to get to this point. Guy who turned 24 years old a few weeks ago. And Billy Mole said to us, he's one of the leaders on this team, even if he's a little bit on the quieter side. And he rolls this one to first. Zubia flips to Madden, and the inning is over. 2-out walk does no harm to time Madden in the third. Well, it's definitely David versus Goliath in terms of postseason resumes in years past. South Florida in its first ever Super Regional. They've never been to Omaha. And, of course, Texas right now in a record 60th NCAA tournament. And they are the 6-time national champions. David Pierce, the Texas head coach, said to us, by no means, though, are we going to sell USF short, because they are hot and they are confident coming here to the dish.
Anything can happen. We've seen it already in the past with teams like Fresno State, Stony Brook. Have to be careful.
Yeah, Billy Mole brought that up when we were chatting with him, unprompted somewhat. And he was talking about teams that in college basketball go on great runs and become the darlings of March Madness. And he pointed to some of the other 4 seeds that have gone on to Omaha, specifically mentioning Stony Brook 9 years ago.
Well, this is like, and if you relate it to basketball, this is pretty much like reaching the Sweet 16. Anything can happen. You look in the past with the College World Series teams by regional seeding, since it expanded in 1999, you're looking at 2 teams that have made it from the 4 seed, 14 from the 3 seed.
Oh, that goes up and in and hits the helmet of Zach Zubia, and he's not happy about it.
Oh, 2, definitely not intentional at all. Ball sails, hits him right in the helmet. Again, when you're at home and you're in the ballpark, if you ever get hit in the helmet, you always want to see the ball going back. You never want to see it going towards the pitcher or on the fair territory side. Does that mean it meant it got you cleanly? Fortunately for Zubia, it nicked the helmet and he was able to get up in a hurry.
Good to see for the 5th-year junior from Richmond here in Texas, southwest of Houston. Guy making his 180th career start. And 2 straight out of the zone to start out to Melendez.
Let's keep an eye on Jaziak now, because his ball has arm side run to it. Both pitches right now have missed location by a lot ever since the hit by pitch. It's going to be interesting to watch location right now for Jaziak.
Gets a trickler past him towards short. Gonzalez on the run, got rid of it to get Melendez with Zubia to second.
Melendez went after a 2-0 pitch. That was not the one he should have been hunting for. Down in the zone, gets it on the ground, soft contact. Look at the location here. Down, throws him a slider. It was full cheating fastball. Jaziak got away with a really good executed pitch right there to get 1 out.
And now strike 1 with the arm side run, spotting it to Cam Williams, third baseman out of the 5 spot. Struck out swinging against the Jaziak fastball his first time. This is pulled to second. Ruiz off the bobble, recovers, 2 down.
Nice job by Ruiz, not panicking at all. Didn't field it cleanly, but stayed down with it and pushed the ball to the ground with that right hand. You see him picking it up right there, regrouping and getting Williams out at first. Now you have a runner 90 feet away from scoring. And again, the Longhorns with 2 outs. They have a runner in scoring position, and boy, are they dangerous so far in this postseason in this situation.
And another chance in this spot for Doug Hodo, who was up with 2 outs in the first, and takes a good cut on the fastball from Jasiak. Hodo drove in 4 runs Sunday in the clinching win over Fairfield right here at the dish. It's this one on the ground to short. Gonzalez is very good defensively, and 3 ground ball outs from Jack Jasiak. A nice response after the hit batter to start the bottom of the 3rd. Texas has its ace, Ty Madden on the bump. 3 shutout with 4 Ks so far.
And it's been the slider. With 2 strikes, this is what you're going to get. It's his money pitch. He's gone to it. It looks like a fastball, ends up being out of the zone for a strike when you swing at it because you can't lay off it. Again, hitters are hitting 114 coming into this game against that slider, and the average just continues to go down.
Well, it was a fastball here, and Roberto Pena out of the South Florida 3 spot singles into center, and another leadoff man on for the Bulls.
Well, USF has shown the ability to hit elite fastball. Another ball that just comes right back up the middle, knuckles on contact. And if you look at what Madden has been able to do, in the first inning he threw just 1 slider. Since, he's thrown 11. And there's another.
To start out with strike 1 to the cleanup man, the right fielder Daniel Cantu, who singled his first time leading off the 2nd. Ty Madden is a big-time draft prospect coming up next month. 3rd-year sophomore from Cypress, Texas. Our ESPN MLB insider Kylie McDaniel has Madden 23rd on his latest draft board, which would give Ty a chance to be Texas's first non-supplemental first-rounder in 10 years, in fact. Taylor Youngman back in 2011 went 12th overall to the Brewers when he was a Golden Spikes finalist that year.
Okay, right here, Roberto Pena at first base has to be aware of the ball in the dirt. Arduan very good at blocking pitches, but anything you see trajectory-wise in the dirt, if you get a good jump and a good read, it's a good chance to try it. You know he's going to go to the slider. The slider only allowing 14 hits so far this season in 123 at-bats when he's thrown it.
Gets a ton of swing and miss on it as well. 1-2 to Cantu. Dropped it in for strike 3 call. NCAA Super Regional coverage for all 8 sites continues tomorrow on the ESPN family of networks. For more info, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. You knew it was coming in a 2-strike count, and Madden threw it again.
The thing is, you don't know if it's coming in for a strike or out of the zone. He's shown the ability to do both.
Now we'll face the 5-hitter for USF, Jake Sullivan, the catcher. Worked the count full and then walked first time he saw Madden. That's in for a strike that time with it. He is great with his preparation. That's something his head coach David Pierce has talked about all season. That he's never really had a guy in his coaching career who prepares exactly like Ty Madden does in 34 years of coaching. Maybe he's had better pitchers. He had the big 3 when he was at Rice a handful of years back, but In terms of a guy who takes care of his business and gets himself ready for his start days, nothing like Ty Madden.
Usually the elite pitchers have that umph factor, that extra gear that they're able to outwork others. Ty Madden has it. How about this? In his last start against Fairfield, he had 13 strikeouts, all of them against the slider. So far in this game, the 5 strikeouts that he has are all sliders, and he was looking for his 6th strikeout right there with the slider on the 0-2 count.
Here's his 1-2. Went back to the slider to Sullivan.
That's his money pitch. That's the one he trusts. Sullivan had a really good at bat in the 2nd inning against him. You mentioned he went 3-2 count, drew the walk. Also fouled some tough pitches during that at bat. We're seeing him do the same thing here.
Told you he's one of the leaders on this team, a gritty guy, 5th-year junior himself. 1-2 again, and he strikes out swinging. Let's say, did he get a piece of that?
No, it was, runner was going back. Again, Pena was going back to first. He missed it completely. Pena was stealing. Again, you saw that angle right there with Pena. And as a runner at first base, you have to learn how to read those angles. Any ball thrown in the dirt, those are the little things to get you to take an extra 90.
You hear coaches talk about it all the time, managers, the dirt ball read. What makes it for a good dirt ball read and being ready for that right away?
Anticipation. First thing you have to look at, especially with Madden, who's leaning on that slider a lot right now. Good secondary. He's showing the fastball right there. You saw him show it, but he's trusting the slider. Almost pitching a lot like Kumar Rocker from Vanderbilt. That can pitch off the slider and can throw it at any count, both for strike, in the zone, and out of the zone for chase.
21 out of 54 pitches have been sliders from Ty Madden.
And remember, only in the 1st inning he threw 1.
You mentioned Kumar Rocker. Boy, was he good yesterday. 7 2/3 for Vandy, who's already headed to Omaha, and 11 strikeouts with no runs for Rocker. 2-1 on Matt Ruiz. Another slider for a land strike.
And the hitters continue to flinch. It's to the point right now that you know that runners are in scoring position, especially that's the pitch he's going to go to. Again, he'll show the heat, but he wants to get you out on the number 3.
It was a leadoff single, and then strikeout, and now the 2-2. Fouled off by Ruiz. Madden's 2-2. Ruiz caught up to 98 that time.
I'm sitting slider right here. He knows that's the pitch that he's going to swing and miss on. The potential, the percentage is higher. Getting a little frustrated, not being able to get swings and misses on the fastball.
7th pitch of the AB is another slider and a check swing, and he did not go, according to David Savage.
Good hold, good call by Savage at first. It's about to get loud.
Sure is. Payoff Outside ball 4. So 2 on here for USF in the 4th. How about the plate appearance from the true freshman for his head coach Billy Mole, Matt Ruiz.
And that was a big at-bat. Saw earlier, especially Ruiz not being able to get contact with runners at first and second. It's a big at-bat because now you have Eaton at the plate. We know what he's been able to do in the regionals. Okay,
swings through the first pitch off speed.
Last time up bat, he did not see one fastball. Slider, slider, slider for the double play. First pitch, slider. I would doubt that he gets a fastball in the strike zone.
Oh, 1 to Eaton. There's another one. USF has had some foot traffic. Left a man in the second, left a man after a walk with 2 outs in the 3rd. 1-1. Fastball that time.
Sped him up. That's all he wanted to do, and that might be the only fastball he sees this at bat. And he threw him the fastball because he took that 0-1 slider.
Two outs in the 4th, and the 1-2 is high to Eaton.
Tried to throw it harder. Doesn't need to throw it harder. He just needs to spin it better. Here comes another.
Two. Gassed him upstairs at 97. 7 strikeouts for Ty Madden. Tomorrow on ABC and the ESPN app, we'll have Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinal between KD and the Nets and Giannis and the Bucks. The Countdown crew tips off our coverage at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. A couple former Longhorns were going at it the other day. Game 3 Thursday. Kevin Durant, PJ Tucker were chatting with one another. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in Austin at the Dish with Texas in front of USF 2-0. Game 1 of this best of 3 super regional. And Jack Jasiak going to work against 7, 8, 9 in the Texas lineup, beginning with the shortstop Trey Faltini. We were talking about how good Faltini is defensively in particular. A guy with major upside, and David Pierce was saying to us, this guy is Troy Tulowitzki's protege at short.
That's a pretty darn good coach to have, to be able to help you out. And you see Tulo there wearing number 2 for Texas on the right. 13 seasons in the major leagues. 5-time All-Star.
Jasiak blows a fastball by Faltini for a strikeout to begin the bottom of the 4th. Yeah, that is your volunteer assistant coach if you're the Horns.
It's amazing. Literally took off the major league uniform and put on the UT uniform. Wanted to come in and help and coach, and as much as the players have learned, I bet he has also learned so much about the college baseball players.
David Pierce was saying to us that him being a former center fielder, David Pierce takes particular pride in coaching center field, and he says Troy Tulowitzki takes that with shortstop to a whole different level with the intricacies of the position that he can share with a guy like Faltini. You
have a guy that's done it and done it consistently at a high level and is able to explain how to do things, I mean, that right there is a match made in heaven, not only for Faltini, but for any other shortstop with talent that comes to UT.
Silas Ardwan flies out to Jared Eaton in left, and there are 2 quick outs economically for Jack Jasiak here in the 4th.
Pretty much the same start as the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Jasiak getting 2 quick outs. Then this man coming to the plate, being able to get another infield single, hustling to the bag at first base and stepping appropriately right in the front of the first base to be able to beat out Jasiak. That led to the 2nd run of the Longhorns with a double by Mike Antico.
That's the type of speed that Eric Kennedy's got. Redshirt sophomore from College Station by way of Tampa. Went to high school down there. With his family moving around. He's just an ultra talented guy who, with the bat this year, he said it himself recently, it's just been a grind for him. He's been trying to make adjustments all year, and David Pierce has said, look, Kennedy's been frustrated, but David Pierce has said to him, you still have the ability to change the game because of your skills and because of your talent. And to your point, we saw that from Kennedy in the 2nd. (2-1). Down low from Jasiak. A walk and a hit batter. 3 hits against Jasiak, the USF ace.
Good ball player right here. Kennedy.
Sure
already
is.
has had 2 brothers that have played for the Longhorns. 3rd time's a charm. He's making the best of it.
Waiting on a 3-2 from Jasiak. Fouled off by Kennedy. Jasiak comes into this start on some type of run. Came into the NCAA tournament on a big-time roll his previous 4 starts, his 4 outings in May, and then went 4 innings, 1 run against Florida on Friday. Kennedy stays alive. But this is the environment for South Florida in its first ever Super Regional. Texas, a confident team, the number 2 overall seed. Ninth pitch of the plate appearance is on the way. And Kennedy hits it hard to center. Chasing Pena back. On the run, he makes the catch. Tumbling near the track. We will chat with David Pierce coming up. His team leads 2-0 after 4. Back at the dish in Austin, Texas leads 2-0, and Texas head coach David Pierce is kind enough to join us. And coach, what have you thought of Ty Madden so far through 4?
Always like his competition. I mean, he gets after it, but I think just commanding his fastball a little bit more so that he can work his slider off of it instead of the opposite for me. But he competes, and he knows what he wants to throw.
Coach Mike Antico has really set it up for you guys today in the 1st inning and then in the 2nd with a double. Is this the usual Mike Antico that you've seen all season long?
Definitely the last couple of months. I mean, he's gotten comfortable and has really played well, and a lot of confidence in the box. So I'd like to see it continue, but yeah.
David, we'll let you get back to business. Thanks for the time.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Pretty much what you saw, Eduardo, from Ty Madden in the assessment there from David Pierce.
It's that confidence with the fastball. We saw him have it early in the first inning against USF. Then he got away from it. Wasn't able to locate it well, but continues to grind. Using that slider, it's the pitch, the money pitch that has been there all season long for him. In the last 4 innings, it's been the slider that's kept USF in check.
When he's throwing the fastball, Eduardo, what do you see from him with the angle that he comes at you with and where he's trying to locate?
First, he's very deceptive because he hides it well. With the arm path right there. Keeps it short behind the body, and then he comes, and that left arm shoulders are not level like we've seen from Jasiak. It's completely the opposite. Watch how high the left shoulder is, hiding the baseball in this delivery. And the difference is with the conviction that he throws the slider compared to the fastball. You see right there, good delivery, solid, smooth throughout. Very repeatable.
He gets Nelson Rivera to loft one into the right field fence down the line, and what a catch by Doug Hodo.
This is knowing your ballpark, fellas. Right here, he takes a peek at the fence where it is, knows exactly when to jump. Good job right there by Hodo. It's exactly what you want to do as an outfielder.
What sort of impact do you think that has when you get to this point in the postseason? I mean, we saw a Notre Dame team that fields so well, one of the best in the country, have some defensive struggles in game 1 of their Super today against Mississippi State.
Yeah, the good thing for Texas is they know exactly how to play this ballpark. They know the speed of the turf. They know the dimensions of the foul ball area compared to what Notre Dame had to do today in Mississippi State. Different elements. Notre Dame used to playing on turf. This time they played in pretty much a hybrid. Turf down the lines, literally down the lines you get turf. Fast right out of the get-go. And you play on a dirt infield, grass field, something that they had not done all season long.
Something else that no one had done, speaking of that game, was play a game in the Super Regionals in front of 14,385. That was the crowd in Starkville. 2-2. And Nick Gonzalez rolls it to short. Faltini slings it with strength. 2 down. Sunday Night Baseball is the series finale between the rivals, the Cards and the Cubs. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN and the app with Baseball Tonight's Sunday Night Countdown. Cubs going into tonight tied with the Brewers atop the National League Central, and they stormed back yesterday against the Cards for an 8-5 win. Carmine Lane goes first pitch swinging, the leadoff man for USF. Lofts it to Hodo, and 5 shutout from Ty Madden. We chat with Billy Mole on the other side. We're halfway through in Austin. We welcome you back to the NCAA Baseball Championship presented by Capital One. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and USF head coach Billy Mole joins us now. And coach, in this atmosphere with the ride that you guys have been on, what have you seen from your guys stepping into this environment?
I think you saw a little first inning nerves there at the very beginning of the game, both defensively and Jack on the mound, but I think he's finally settled in and hit his groove.
How far can we see Jack on the mound? We saw Joseph Sanchez warming up in the pen last inning.
We'll see. I mean, this is his 3rd time through the lineup. not gonna leave him out there too long. So getting Joey Sanchez ready to go.
Billy, thanks for the time.
Appreciate it, guys.
The USF head coach Billy Mole joining us, and the pitch count at 67 for Jasiak. And it is the top of the Texas lineup again.
And it's not only at the major league level, it's everywhere that we've seen. Third time around the lineup. I think I saw it the other day in a Little League game here in our neighborhood.
I mean, how about it for USF? They win the regional, and they didn't have a single pitcher on their staff who in the regional threw more than 5 1/3 for the weekend. Even with some good studs at the front of the rotation in Jasiak and tomorrow night's starting pitcher Colin Sullivan, they weren't getting too deep into the game. Jasiak went 4. Now, they did have rain in Colin Sullivan's start in the Miami game last Saturday, so that's why he only went 4.
I'll tell you this is a hitter you have to be able to attack and not allow him to get on base to lead off this inning. Because the first thing he's thinking about is how can I steal second? Then maybe how can I steal third? 37. Base runners already sniffed the 40. He'll do whatever it takes to get on right now because he knows the big boys, Daly, Zubia, Melendez waiting. Oh, he wanted that's a ball right there. And this is a good eye by Antico. He knows the strike zone really well. 57 walks in the season. Now 58 with the one he had in the first inning. Ball's down. Only 37 strikeouts.
Good take. David Pierce said he wasn't necessarily expecting this amount of patience from Antico when they brought him in as a grad transfer from St. John's. Strike 3 called. Backdoor for Jasiak and a big punch out.
Love the call. The slider. I don't know if it's a strike or not, but I like the call right here. Pitch is outside. Not even close, right? Not even close. If you're a Longhorn, you're yelling at the screen or behind the screen. And if you're a Bull, you're loving it.
They're going crazy at the patio back in Tampa.
That's a big strike 3 call. Get that first out of the inning. You keep the speed off the bases. And again, this is stealing outs. I heard Coach Mole say it earlier. He won't stay with them too long.
And Jasiak got through the 2 lefties, who are the last 2 hitters we saw from Texas. Kennedy to end the 4th, Antico leading off. And now you got Daly starting 7 straight righties for Texas.
That's done them as far as I can. His next start, they're hoping, is in Omaha.
A place USF has never been before. Though they have had a handful of trips here to the regionals in recent years. Mark Kingston arrived. They hadn't been to the regionals since 2002. But now Billy Mole building off that. 4 trips to regionals the last 7 years, and in the supers for the first time. Jasiak's 1-2, and Daly lays off it.
I'll tell you this, the first time I set foot in Tallahassee, Coach Chip Baker, and you see the numbers right there. For South Florida, 14th NCAA appearance. Regional champion for the first time, seeking that trip to Omaha. First time Chip Baker told us about Omaha, he was our 3rd base coach at the time at Florida State. He said, guys, you want to go there because it's the only place in the country where you can cut a steak with a fork. And I was like, excuse me? He says, yep, you can cut it with a fork. And he was right.
And you went right away your freshman year.
Freshman and junior year. and for the last 5 years, excluding 2020.
It'll all get started out there with Eduardo and company 1 week from today. Two. Daly bounces another foul. There's a look.
Is that a good hair day or a bad hair day?
That might be in every time there's a game, hair day. He's got groupies. 2-2. How nice has it been these last few weekends to just hear these college ballparks roar once again? We were talking about Starkville earlier today. That's the biggest crowd ever at a super regional game. It took about 24 hours for tickets to this super regional to sell out here in Austin. Jay-Z-Ax 2-2 again. And a full count on Daly.
What a heck of an at-bat. He had fouled 5 in a row. Then he gets a breaking pitch right there on a 2-2 count. Now he's 3-2. He's going to his 11th pitch of this at-bat.
And here it is. That misses ball 4. Heck of a plate appearance from the freshman Daly against Jay-Z-Ax.
Battling and grinding, saw everything Jay-Z-Ax had to offer. Fouled off some tough pitches, took some close ones. That Sharpie looks like an antenna.
Karsten Whitson probably getting a good signal here at the dish. That's Joey Sanchez, who was up earlier.
I think this is all Jay-Z-Ax for a while.
Whitson does a great job with the pitching staff for USF. Second year on staff. Former first rounder out of high school who went to Florida. Got drafted by the Red Sox back in 2014.
It's going to be interesting here. Zubia was hitting the helmet last time on a 0-2 pitch.
This one comes up and in on a backup slider. Fifth-year first baseman, was the MVP of this Austin Regional. We told you 5 for 14. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first and then hit by the pitch when he led off the third. Swings through, runner on the move, and the throw is on the money from Sullivan.
Great catch and throw right there by Sullivan. Runner stays on second. He's like, wait a second. Now he's now running off. The perfect throw, letting the ball travel all the way was Ruiz, second base. And that was the key to this play. If he's out in front of the bag and he allows, and he catches that ball in front of the bag, by the time he applies the tag, no chance, but Ruiz making a beautiful tag at second.
And that's a guy who before a few months ago was not a natural second baseman, part of this reshuffled USF team defensively. So now 2 outs, base is empty, and a 3-ball 1-strike count on Texas's 3-hitter Zach Zubia.
Zubia's looking for one pitch. He's got a great eye. He's very patient. Being hit in the helmet, he's looking to try to hit this one over 400 feet anywhere.
Three-1. Full count.
Watch the distance here when he takes off to second. Look where Ruiz catches this baseball. Lets it get deep. Right then and there, boom. Texas does not try to appeal that play.
On a dart from Jake Sullivan, the veteran catcher for the Bulls. Zubia on the ground, left side. Gonzalez scoops, and the inning is over. So it ends up being 3 up, 3 down, and Jasiak is through 5 in Austin. Nightfall in Austin, Texas. The Dish is the site for Game 1 of this Super Regional between South Florida and the Longhorns, who have a 2-0 lead. As we go to the 6th inning, Madden and Jasiak, who's given up the only 2 runs of this game. We'll see what USF can do. This is their 3rd time through the lineup. 2, 3, and 4 coming here against Madden, starting with Riley Hogan. A fly out to right and a ground out to Zubia at first to end the 3rd. And he had one of the key moments, and it was away from the diamond for this USF team this season. They had a bus ride that they were on from Wichita to Dallas. They had a flight canceled almost exactly a month ago. And Riley Hogan stood up in the middle of the bus and he gave a speech from the heart. Pops this one up behind 3rd, long way to go, and a sliding play made by Kennedy. 1 down.
Well, we saw what Kennedy can do on the bases with his speed, getting an infield hit and then scoring from first on a double, and this time does it from left field. Goes after it, understands where the defense is, communicates real well, calls it, gets down low for the slide to make the play.
Boy, you hear it so much at this time of the year, pitching and defense. We know about Texas's pitching, whether it's Madden, Tristan Stevens, Pete Hansen. They've got a really good defense as well. Ball and a strike on Roberto Pena, the redshirt sophomore center fielder.
This time, 3rd time around the lineup. We're seeing Madden go to his fastball just a little bit more in the first few pitches that he's thrown here. 80 pitches so far in the game. Now with 2 strikes, loves his slider.
One, 2. Struck out Pena with a slider, looking to end the 1st inning. Pena trying to get the bat going here in the NCAA tournament. Very talented player for USF. Madden's 2-2. Pena nubs it off the end of the bat, and Madden will take it himself. Zach Zubia vacates, Madden accelerates.
Right here, this ball to the left, he gets it. And Zubia goes after this ball. It's now speed to first. Sometimes you hear people in your ear say, who says pitchers aren't athletes? You know what I love about this? Is actually Faltine going to the mound, buying time for Madden just to catch his breath. All those little things, those are the things you want to know. Just not only having a clock defensively, but also having awareness on the field for your pitcher.
We've heard David Pierce describe it as the leadership types of things that Troy Tulowitzki has imparted on Trey Faltini. It's that type of stuff, right?
Yeah, it's that type of stuff. All the questions that you're able to ask, especially with Troy Tulowitzki there. And excuse me when I did mispronounce the name, Faltini. At short, just a sponge for information.
Second-year player sensing the moment, buying Madden a little breather, and then he gets ahead of the cleanup man, Daniel Cantu, 1 and 2, and trying to make it a 1-2-3-6. This crowd has been activated and engaged all night here at the Dish. Time Madden's 1-2. Fouled off by Cantu.
Madden's looking for another strikeout. He hasn't had one since the 4th inning when he struck out the side. But he has had a clean inning in the 5th, and he's looking for another one here in the 6th.
Went 6 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts last Saturday against Arizona State. Started game 2 of the regional for Texas. 2-2. He got him swinging. 8 Ks for Time Madden.
The evening for Jack Jasiak started off a little rocky, but since he was able to recoup in a major way. Runners in scoring position, he got Cam Williams out with the fastball. The slider worked well, and then the run that he had on the fastball really stayed at a point and an exclamation mark on the Longhorns. Jack Jasiak on the evening, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, and 90 pitches. Was able to get 2 walks and 4 strikeouts in his night. Jack Jasiak now leaves it up to the bullpen, trying to hold it right there for his offense.
And it was a few innings ago where this guy, Joey Sanchez, the redshirt junior lefty from Miami, got up in the bullpen. But because Jasiak was able to give a little bit more length, Sanchez comes on now here in the bottom of the 6th.
See those numbers right there, 23 strikeouts, 3 walks. This guy is a control pitcher.
Throw strikes at a 67% clip. Very good mark. Has to deal with the dangerous Ivan Melendez, cleanup man for Texas, the DH, who's popped to second and grounded to short. And Melendez stings this one to right center, but it hangs up for Pena, and there's one away. And then he lost it, and hang on a sec. Yeah, they'll say he completed the catch. It is an adventure at times with Pena in center.
Yeah, very raw out there. You see him right here hesitate. It's his ball all the way. He stops for a second, able to then have some communication with Cantu, and then he tries to toss it over, trying to look pretty out there. Look, this is a guy that's active. He's always been an infielder, always having conversations and everything. This is a play that they will not reverse, but it's a conversation that they have to have, the umpires, to make sure that he was taken out of the glove and not just fumbling upon the catch.
Well, the definition of the catch is having complete control of the ball, and that the release of the ball is voluntary and intentional, which certainly looked like it was there for Pena in center.
I mean, this is actually learning on the fly for Pena in center field. He makes the catch here, and now in the transition, he tries to just toss it over to Cantu. Look, make the catch, and then cleanly take it out of the glove and throw it in. You're not an infielder anymore. You're not trying to throw it around the outfield here after an out.
We really enjoyed chatting with Roberto Pena the other day. It's going to stand, as you said, Eduardo. And Pena was saying to us, he was kind of confused at first when they told him that he was going to center field, because you check out all the shuffling in the outfield. Pena had been playing a lot of second base, but Drew Brutcher, their stud freshman, has been out. Now, we might see him pinch hit, but he's not well enough with a hand injury to throw and to play in the field. And so Pena has been slotted in there in center recently.
Yeah, and it's not only that. I mean, Pena also defensively at second base was not helping the cause. 13 errors in the season. So this is a play where Pena has to understand that he just has to tone it down a little bit in the outfield, and it's hard for an infielder's mentality to do so in center field. And it was actually Pena's birthday yesterday.
Ah, belated happy birthday. So we missed that in our chat with one of the fun personalities on the USF team. David Pierce came out for another word, and now Billy Mole's getting an explanation here.
He's probably telling, could you please tell your center fielder not to throw the ball around the outfield anymore? He's not an infielder anymore. They affectionately call him Chamo. From Venezuela, born in Caracas. Age of 13, came to the U.S. without speaking a language, without being able to speak any English. Now speaks it fluently.
And he's trying to impart that on some of his younger teammates, specifically Nelson Rivera, who he's been rooming with on the road. True freshman from Puerto Rico. And he's been trying to tell Nelson, look, we got to keep working on your English, just like I had to do when I came over.
So he doesn't speak to him in Spanish. To me, that is very awkward. And Nelson Rivera is like, come on, man, speak to me in Spanish. Nope, tough love.
Cam Williams hits it hard, but Carmine Lane scoops, and there's 2 down for Sanchez just into the game.
This is going to be a player right here, Carmine Lane. Plays like a senior, and he's a true he's redshirt freshman.
You had seen that he had been in left field, now handling third. So 2 down, bases empty. Texas up 2-0. Game 1 of this Super Regional. And strike 1 to Doug Hodo. A couple of ground outs to short. Since the second inning for Texas offensively, just when Zubia got hit by a pitch and when Mitch Daly worked that great walk in the 5th, those are the only 2 base runners for the Horns since the second.
And just think about if Eric Kennedy would not have hustled the way he did and stepped on the bag at first, out in front, this would be just a 1-run ball game right now.
1-2 from Sanchez.
This is what USF does. They just hang around. Before you know it, any mental lapse you have defensively, they'll take advantage of. So far for Texas, they've played solid baseball, solid defense.
Off the edge.
Now he can go right back to either the backdoor slider or the changeup down and away to try to get a little chase here in soft contact. Nicky Gonzalez better be ready at short.
Hodo pops it up. Ruiz circles. Cantu calls, and he makes the catch. 1-2-3 for Joey Sanchez in relief. Texas by 2. We welcome you back to the NCAA Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Well, the bracket around the Supers so far. A couple of tickets have already been punched to Omaha, with Vanderbilt and Stanford winning their first two. Dallas Baptist came from behind earlier today. So too did Mississippi State. And Tennessee just got a win over LSU in the start of that Super. Couple days in, Eduardo Perez, what's been jumping out to you so far across the country?
One, the dominance of Vanderbilt.
Jake Sullivan rolls it back to Ty Madden, and there's one away to start the seventh.
The dominance of their 1-2 punch with Rocker and Leiter. No doubt that has stood out the entire season, and now in postseason, we're seeing it once again. The crowds so far, all around the Super Regionals. You have Stanford, what they were able to do in Texas Tech, and just power through those two games. And then Mississippi State, again, talk about fans, not only there at Dudy Noble, but also you can go to Arkansas at Baum. It's just been fantastic, the crowds, and here in Texas, the same thing.
It was really enjoyable, too, chatting with a lot of these Bulls players, and they had such a positive and welcoming outlook to coming to this environment. They were excited to see what it would be like here. Matt Ruiz is late, and it's 0-2 against Madden. Four pitches for Ty Madden, who has been terrific, giving up just 2 hits.
A little show me fastball to now go with the slider for Madden.
Ruiz worked a walk his last time against Ty Madden. 1-2. Ground ball into center field, a base hit. Just the 3rd hit for USF, and the leadoff man aboard here in the 7th. NCAA Super Regional coverage at all sites continues tomorrow on the ESPN family of networks. For more info, you can visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. So tying run will come to the plate here for USF, which so far has not been able to get much going against Texas ace Ty Madden, the Big 12 pitcher of the year.
He's gone predominantly slider off Eaton. This time Eaton shows bunt, probably on the only fastball, 92. Velocity has dropped for Madden so far. Gets ahead 0-1. But this is what USF has wanted. Eaton with runners on base. All 3 times he's had runners on base. Right now, fatigue setting in. 99 pitches in this game. We've seen the velocity drop. We've seen the slider just flatten out a little bit at the top. Better swings against it. See how far the Longhorns go with their big righty.
His 1-1. 2 balls and a strike on Eaton. You mentioned they've wanted him up with guys aboard because, boy, did he come through in the clincher of the regional against South Alabama. 3 for 3, drove in 3, tied the game with a 2-run double, and then his next time gave USF the lead with an RBI single that came with 2 outs in that next trip. Swinging on the 2-1 fastball.
Saw it right there. At 101 pitches, 91 miles per hour. He was touching 97 in the first inning. A couple times 98.
And for the season, Ty Madden has averaged 94.7 with his fastball. Bullpen starts to activate. Tanner Witt now throwing for Texas. 2-2. And Eaton strikes out. 9 Ks for Ty Madden.
Well, he went to the slider. His pitch appeared to be a strike to Eaton. Couldn't hold up, and again, not recognizing it, swings out of the strike zone and gets another strikeout.
They count him up on the buses out and right. Well, we're going to get a pinch hitter here in the 8th spot in the USF lineup, populated by Nelson Rivera to start the night as you get a look at Tanner Witt loosening, highly regarded true freshman. So this is interesting here with 102 pitches for Ty Madden. Witt just starting to throw out there. And a trip to the mound. Now, Brutcher coming to hit, and he's a left-hand hitter. And he's injured with a hand issue right now, but after not playing for more than a month, he got a couple ABs in the regional in a pinch hit role just like this. And Billy Mole, his head coach, loved what he saw from him.
I mean, this kid, 6'6", you see the size is there, the power is there.
You see the numbers in what Drew Brutcher did before he got injured. This guy was mashing to begin his collegiate career. Takes down low. It's a ball and a strike with no movement from Ruiz at first.
And no movement actually from Brutcher, also recognizing that pitch. Remember, the velocity's not there anymore at 97, 98 from Madden. Has to be able to locate the fastball if he's going to throw it in this at-bat.
1-1. 95, but he missed, and it's 2-1 now on Brutcher. Billy Mole told us it's been a big loss not having the services of Brutcher. Still working his arm back into shape, but he's good to hit here and there off the bench. Sees the breaking ball again, and it's 3-1.
It's a great take.
You come in cold and you spit on a couple of sliders. Representing the tying run for USF in its first ever Super Regional. 3-1. Upstairs, and the tying run is on for the Bulls.
Tell you what, that's an excellent at-bat for never having even taken the bat out of his shoulders. The takes were really good and quiet. 6'6" usually takes hitters, tall hitters, a long time to be able to put everything together, and Brutcher did it right there in that at-bat.
This guy's going to be a first-round pick, you figure, next month. Walking off this mound at the dish, likely one final time. The Big 12 Pitcher of the Year, Ty Madden, walking off the mound here in Austin one final time.
And what a great outing. Again, you get the hug, you get the cheer from the fans. He did everything he could, and he had everything he had. He put it into this game. 6 2/3 of innings of work, 3 hits. You look at the strikeouts, 9, 4 walks. The slider was on. It's what kept him in the game.
A guy who works and prepares so diligently David Pierce said it's been his mission to be one of the best pitchers at Texas. And he will leave quite a legacy. And he leaves with a lead. But 2 aboard for USF. And the new pitcher is Tanner Witt. Honorable mention, all Big 12, true freshman who's got terrific stuff.
He does, and you see the numbers right there in 47 2/3 innings of work, 68 strikeouts.
Facing the 9-man Nick Gonzalez, who squares and pulls back with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Well, this is a glove first guy right here. 1 for 15 so far in this tournament. He's made some really good plays at shortstop. Right now, they're asking him with 2 strikes to find a hole and keep this inning alive.
And he's quickly behind 0-2 against Witt. Texas with the home crowd behind it. A run in the first, a run in the second, trying to escape trouble here in the 7th. Witt's 0-2. He struck him out. 96 to leave 2 and pick up Ty Madden.
That right there is an ay-ba-ba moment. The big hug for Madden. 2-0 Texas as we go to the bottom half of the 7th.
NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Ty Madden exited to this, and he's hoping that it's not the last time he pitches in a Longhorn uniform. What a night for the ace of the Texas staff, the number 2 overall seed, and Madden delivers 6 2/3 of shutout work. Tanner Witt picks him up to finish off the top half of the 7th. And now we go to the home half here at the Dish.
9 strikeouts in the evening, 8 of those coming on the slider. One of them, the fastball up in the zone as a chase pitch. Then we see Witt coming into the game, and he blows it right by Gonzalez with a fastball in the zone. Electric stuff. The consistency that the Longhorns have had from their starting pitching.
Now Trey Faltini lines one into left center and off the wall. He starts the home half of the 7th with a double.
Well, this is the 3rd time he's led off in the game, led off in the 2nd, in the 4th, and this time in the 7th, doesn't miss this off-speed pitch. Over, sits back, drills it in the left center field gap, and now he's in scoring position for Silas Arduan, who will be coming up to the plate, up 2 with no outs.
Guy who handles the bat very well after the leadoff double from Faltini. A strikeout looking and a fly out to left for Arduan so far. First pitch swing and fouls it back.
Lefty on the mound. You have 2 lefty hitters coming up behind them in Kennedy and Antico. Both very well and capable of handling a bat, but this is where they wanted Arduan, 1 swing of the bat. Give him a chance to try to trade places with Faltini at 2nd. Now let's see if they put on the bunt or they allow him to swing away. Corners in.
Swinging away and driving it to right center, and Cantu's there. Faltini tags and advances 90.
He's going to get high fives here. It's an excellent job right there, drilling that baseball to right field, deep enough to get Faltini to 3rd base. Now the infield is forced to play in with Kennedy coming up to hit. But watch the approach here. After missing the fastball right down the middle, gets an off-speed pitch down and away and doesn't try to pull it. Goes with it the other way. He knows he's done his job. Good job of Faltini tagging up. Getting the 3rd easily.
Brad Lord, redshirt sophomore right-hander, logs a lot of key innings for USF up in the pen.
But this is where the Bulls have to be aware of Eric Kennedy, the way he handles the bat. He's got 8 sacrifice hits so far, sacrifice bunts so far in this season. Infield will be in, knows how to get the ball down. You have to be careful here with the safety squeeze or the squeeze play straight up. Good speed at third. Good man to handle the bat at the plate.
The redshirt sophomore Eric Kennedy, who, if you haven't been with us, maybe you've been flipping around with all the great games going on around the country here in the Supers. This guy made an impact with his speed back in the second. He can flat out fly. It looked like it might end a 1-2-3 inning when he rolled toward first, but he legged out an infield single. The call got overturned, and Texas then scored him with the man on deck, Mike Antico. That is strike one from Sanchez.
You got Carmine over there. You see him at third base, and again, this is where he wants to be a little bit closer to the line. You want to be able to keep Faltini closer on the secondary. No reason to play that far from the runner at third. Left-handed hitter, most likely, if he hits it on the ground, it's going to be on the pull side. You want him a little bit closer toward the dirt area.
One. Ball and 2 strikes now on Kennedy.
We saw it in the World Series with Mookie Betts at third base. We've seen it also at the collegiate level. That secondary at third base is really important on anything on the ground. He's going on contact.
It's in the air to center. Should be deep enough. Faltini to the plate. Texas by 3.
I have a book behind me to the right that is titled "I'm Fascinated by Sacrifice Flies," written by Tim Kirchin, our partner at ESPN. And again, the sac fly to right field, moving Faltini over to third, and then that one to center field by Kennedy. Textbook Longhorn baseball.
And Horns fans are rushing to the nearest bookstores tomorrow morning. So Faltini scores, back to the top for Mike Antico. With 2 outs now and the lead at 3 for Texas. Two and 1. Two and 2 the count on Antico. What else you got in the home studio, the home office, Eduardo?
I got a book, I'm telling you. A little bit of everything.
Two. Antico ropes it right at the first baseman, Hogan. Inning over, but not before. Texas adds another, and the lead is 3 through 7. The bump, you see Ole Miss trying to stave off elimination against Arizona. Stanford and Vandy have already moved on. Arkansas had a massive win yesterday. They put up 21 on NC State, and all the Wolfpack did was respond in a big way today with a 1-run victory over Arkansas, the #1 overall seed.
It was a nail biter too.
And second, Daly makes the play to retire Carmine Lane, leading off for USF. Yeah, Elliott Avent got a big-time performance from Evan Justice in his bullpen. Good start from Sam Highfill today for NC State out of the ACC. All right, so here's Riley Hogan. Can he get something started for USF? Flew out to left on that nice play back in the 6th by a sliding Eric Kennedy toward the line.
I'm telling you right now, if I don't get this in, Sarah Cruz, Jose Cruz's Jr.'s wife, will not talk to me for the rest of my life, I think. She's the reason why Tanner Witt right now, as she claims, is pitching on this mound right now. She introduced both parents years ago. Since Tanner has 4 other siblings. And she says it's because of Jose and her introducing them together. And again, good for her, good for them. Kevin Witt played for the Blue Jays.
If I'm Sarah, I'm also taking credit while I'm at it for teaching this curveball to Tanner Witt, because that thing is nasty.
It is. He also has an uncle that is a pro tennis player.
And Tanner's a 4th-generation Longhorn. His 1-2. Grounded right side. Zubia collects to way.
I don't know if you know this, but his uncle actually coached Venus Williams too.
Wow. So you're saying in the Cruz and Witt families, there are some good bloodlines.
Some good bloodlines. So congratulations to Jose Cruz Jr. as well.
Yes.
Rice Al, head coach now.
A guy you know very well.
Yeah, today was his last day, as a matter of fact, as the hitting coach, as the assistant hitting coach for the Detroit Tigers. Played under Wayne Graham from 93 to 95, but this runs in the family. His brother Enrique, the 2003 College World Series title, he was part of that team. And his sons, Trey, who went in the 3rd round with the Tigers last year, played at Rice, and his youngest son is there now playing at Rice.
Of course, David Pierce spent 9 years on staff, part of that 03 staff.
And Sarah just texted me and said, if you don't mention that I was a friend of Lori since 2nd grade, you're in a lot of trouble, Eduardo. And that right there was in the Dominican Republic. Jose and myself cheering the team on. Another teammate of ours is a father also of a player that will be going to the College World Series, Roberto Vaz.
With Vandy already on the way. Texas in game 1 of this super in control against USF.
Welcome everyone to Omaha, Nebraska. That one is caught. Making the catch. That one's going to end up on SportsCenter. Anchored down. Vanderbilt on top of the college baseball world again.
A week from today, it all gets started out in Omaha. Cut your steaks with just a fork out there.
That's right.
Eduardo taught us. The most College World Series titles, including the half-dozen here for the Horns.
Oh, that's right. I'll be over there at Omaha Prime cutting my steak with a fork. Who else wants to join in? I got some Cardinal and I got some Commodores. Who else wants to join the party?
It's going to be good to see TD Ameritrade absolutely rocking like it is here at the Dish, like it has been at so many venues this weekend during the Super Regionals, last weekend at the Regionals as well. We're in game 1 here in Austin. South Florida goes back to the pen. This is the righty Brad Lord who comes on for Joey Sanchez. And first pitch swinging, Mitch Daly toward the gap in right center, and it drops down. Cantu cuts it off. And a leadoff double for Daly.
Okay, I'm going to go there. My man just hit the Daly double right here in the 8th inning. Pitch up in the zone. First pitch he sees. Gets in scoring position. Hustling out of the box. Thinking two the entire way. Let's see if Texas plays the same style of baseball that we saw in the bottom half of the 7th inning when Trey Faltini led off with a double.
How would you approach it with your 3-hitter here in the order, Zach Zubia?
Trade places with him. Again, drive the ball to right center field. He has power throughout the entire ballpark. You don't have to just hit a ground ball to second base. I want you to trade places with him. Right now you're up 3. Outfield playing straight up. Infield playing straight up.
Aggressive cut from Zubia, who David Pierce told us the most patient hitter I've ever had. And as we mentioned earlier, at times it drives David Pierce crazy, but the production, the best on the team right now in this lineup for the Horns.
Last time he was 0-2, it was a fastball up and in that hit him in the helmet.
He's been hearing the chants of his name for a long time here at the dish, and he loves it.
Logan Lyle warming up in the bullpen for the University of South Florida.
A strikeout for Lord. He gets Zubia for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's a good slider. You get ahead of Zubia. Then you go to this one, down and away. Appears to be in the zone. Late bite to it. Had another strikeout. To Lord, 61 on the season.
He's a redshirt sophomore from Crawfordville, Florida, south of Tallahassee. And now facing the cleanup man, Ivan Melendez. 0 for 3 so far with a fly out to center his last time against Sanchez. Melendez lofts this one behind the bag, and Gonzalez has out number 2.
How about this? Texas, the way that they've been able to manufacture runs this evening. They've got 3 on the board. And yet, they're 1 for 12 so far this evening with runners in scoring position. One for 11. My apologies. 1 for 11.
They scored on the fielder's choice back in the first. The 2-out RBI double from Mike Antico in the second, and then the sac fly from Eric Kennedy last inning. This is Cam Williams. Another big cut on a fastball from the power-armed righty Lord. He's trying to keep this at a 3-run deficit for USF. They've got 4, 5, and 6 coming in the top of the 9th. 0-2. Williams strikes out. Nice job by Brad Lord responding there after the leadoff double. And here come the Bulls with 3 outs to work with. Now time for the Capital One rewarding performance, and Ty Madden, the Big 12 pitcher of the year, was dynamite.
He was. Again, he had the fastball early on, and then he went to the slider, smelling the strikeout, ends up getting 9 strikeouts on the evening, 8 of them coming off the number 3. That's the slider, 1 fastball up in the zone, and yes, pitchers are athletes.
He heard it, deservedly so, from the Longhorn faithful here at the Dish. A packed house, been so eager all week for this Super Regional. And on the other side, he got USF down by 3. 3 outs with which to work remaining here in the top of the 9th. They've only had 3 hits for a team that came out of the Gainesville Regional as the 4 seed, but ran into Madden tonight. The cleanup man, Daniel Cantu, leading off against Tanner Witt. And Cantu hits this one hard, lifts it to left center, back toward the wall, and up against the wall. It is gone. Cantu goes deep, and USF is within 2. Wow.
I'll tell you what, for a second there, I thought Antico made this play. Again, this pitch is down and away. See how he sticks the nose right on top of that pitch. Strong guy, Cantu. The ball just barely goes over. Takes a peek. And it was out of here.
Big swing from the redshirt freshman Daniel Cantu from Jacksonville. Guy who had a huge game in the American Championship clincher against UCF. He was 3 for 4. Homered in that game as well. Drove in 3. And was tournament MVP. And he's got the Bulls within a deuce here in the 9th.
And now it's Jake Sullivan at the plate. He needs to try to work any which way to get on. That'll force the issue with Ruiz, Eaton, and then Brutchker coming up after him.
1-2 though against Witt.
It's amazing. I say pitchers are athletes, and all the pitchers that are in my iPhone all texted me all at once.
1-2. There's a breaking ball from Witt. 1 away.
Time to get the uncle out. And he's not a tennis instructor. It's Charlie.
Snaps off a beauty. Now Matt Ruiz with 1 away. And he lays off the curveball from Witt. Ruiz struck out and then has since walked twice.
You have to do anything you can to get Rutschert to the plate. He'll be in the hole.
Two of the aces on the Texas staff, Pete Hansen, Ty Madden. And now time called by Ruiz.
Talk about dominating the strike zone. It's exactly what Witt has done. 20 pitches so far since he's come in, 17 of those for strikes.
There's 1-1. Ruiz swings through it. That thing is nasty. This place can feel it. 1-2. Ruiz stayed on it. Down the line in right. Hodo is over. And there's 2 down. Sunday Night Baseball is the series finale between the rival Cards and Cubs. Our coverage starts at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the app. With baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. This is game one here of this Super Regional, and Texas is 1 out away from a win. Ball one just misses hitting. Jared Eaton with Brutcher would be next.
That's a big bat that's on deck also. We saw his takes, 7 home runs in the season. His season got cut short because of injury, but he's their best power guy.
And the star from Monday at the plate. Ball and a strike on Jared Eaton, trying to get Brutcher up. Billy Mole said this guy Jared Eaton's been unbelievable here down the stretch and deserves every bit of the spotlight that is shining on him right now. I mean, there was a time not too long ago when Eaton was out of the lineup in the all-important game one of the Super. 2-1.
Tell you what, though, the Bulls have sent a message here in Austin. We belong. 3-1 game, top of the 9th, 2 outs. You get that tying run on deck. They do belong.
2-1. Eaton hits this one hard into right center. Long way to go for Hodo, and it's off the wall. Eaton stops it second. Tying run coming to the plate for the Bulls.
What a net bat. Again, you have to get somebody on. This pitch down in the zone. Almost the same location that Cantu was able to take the ball out of the ballpark. Down and away. Reaches out. Now gets on, and you stay right there, young man. You let Brutcher now at the plate try to do some damage.
Drew Brutcher is the true freshman who came on as a pinch hitter his last time in the 7th when he worked this walk. He's been dealing with a hand injury for more than a month that has kept him from starting, and until last weekend had kept him from any action. Takes ball one.
I don't think he's going to get anything good to hit. If he does not execute the pitches that's wit, and so be it. I know that he's the tying run. Go ahead, run on deck and Nicky Gonzalez. But this man with one swing of the bat can tie this ball game.
South of the knees, 2-0 on Brutcher. Aaron Nixon is effectively the closer for Texas, and he's starting to throw.
South Florida yet this evening is to get a hit with a runner on base. They're looking for the first one, and they're hoping it's a blast.
2-0 pitch.
Smart.
Curls in for a strike.
Smart. I like it. 2-0. They know what he can do. Throw it for a strike, but throw a wrinkle in it.
Freshman on freshman in the Super Regionals. 2-1. Brutcher pulls it out of the reach of Zuby on foul.
He's upset at himself for swinging at that one. It would have been 3-1. Instead, now 2-2. We've seen the velocity that Witt has. We've also seen his uncle.
He's thrown back-to-back breakers to Brutcher. 2 outs, top 9. Tying run at the plate. 2-2 on Brutcher. Witt deals. Outside, ball 3. The Cinderella USF team, a 4 seed out of the regionals, trying to get the tying run on here or better in the 9th. Payoff pitch. Brutcher pulls it deep to right field, and this game is tied. Are you kidding me? This guy is incredible.
stunned, and he is talking to the fans. He heard every one of them say everything to him. And he was patient at the plate, and he hung him one, and he let them know. What an at-bat. We saw it earlier in the game when he came in to pinch hit for Nelson Rivera. Not taking the bat out of his shoulders. This time, he silences a full house, a packed house in Austin. Hung him the curveball. He had seen a few of them. Brings his hands in. The 6'6", Drew Bretcher, letting it be known.
And now Nick Gonzalez rolls it up the middle, and Trey Faltini makes the play on the run. Inning over, ball game tied. Drew Bretcher is a hero back at the patio in Tampa.
Saw a few curveballs. And with that, he silenced Texas.
Billy Moll jokes around. He says they sometimes call Drew Bretcher the Lakeland Clipper because it's kind of like Joe DiMaggio with the stuff he does.
Well, he sat on the breaking ball. He ended up getting it 2-0. He got it in hitters' counts the entire time. They did not challenge him. But if you're going to do that, you had Gonzalez hitting behind you. That was it right there. And Drew Bretcher hits his 8th home run of the season. First one, you saw it there, in a long time.
He had a stretch from late February to the middle of March 16th, where Drew Bretcher homered 7 times in 12 games. But he's been injured, as we told you, for more than a month. And he takes Tanner Witt deep, down to his final strike. And USF is tied up here in the bottom of the 9th inning with the #2 overall seed Texas in game 1 of this Super Regional. Brad Lord is working for the Bulls, and he's ahead of Doug Hodo 1-2. Wow. We were talking with some of the South Florida players, and when they beat Florida, there was a tweet from a certain Florida Gator beat writer that circulated and made its way to the USF team, in which USF was referred to as not a very good team, and for Florida, a really bad loss. Lawrence strikes out Hodo. Sullivan completes the K. And that's been one of the things that has stuck with this underdog USF team. Some of the preseason prognostications as well. And they are hot and confident. And as their center fielder, Roberto Pena, said to us, Eduardo, they feel like they're playing with house money.
And I think the best part about it is they're confident. Look, at the beginning, we listened to what Coach had said. He said, yeah, they were a little bit nervous. You could see they were rattled at the beginning. But they've embraced this. And they've turned it around in a major way. 3 runs in the top half of the 9th inning. And even if it's win or even if they lose this game, what they've done is they left this ballpark believing that they can compete here in Texas.
Pena lunges to make the catch. 2 down. Trey Faltini retired.
Never been pretty, has it? Watch Pena right here. At least he keeps his feet underneath him. No wind at all at the stadium. But yet, makes it look interesting. Don't panic.
And strike 1 pumped in to Silas Ardoin, the Texas catcher. Brad Lord is commanding the zone. First ever Super Regional for USF. They have never been to Omaha. 0-2. They've got the lowest winning percentage overall of any team here still alive in the Supers. Bouncer to Gonzalez. He had to wait on it, and now he doesn't have a play. Winning run aboard for Texas in the ninth.
That's a big mistake by Gonzalez, who's played a very solid shortstop this evening. Right here, he waits on a little bit and did not get the bounce he expected to get the second time around. Brings his head up, you see him take a peek, lost track of where the baseball is. The reason I say it's a big mistake, now you get Kennedy up at the plate, with Antico potentially leading off next inning if Kennedy has got him out here.
Kennedy drives it to center. Peña's back, and it's over his head. Arduan around third. Texas walks it off.
So many things went wrong for South Florida right there. With the runner at first base, you have to play no doubles. You can allow any ball to get hit over the outfielders. Right then and there, Roberto Peña, playing shallow in center field, allows the ball to beat him in center field. And the error, the costly mistake in the infield, cost the University of South Florida a chance to go to the top of the 10th inning. Great comeback right here by the Longhorns. First pitch, fastball down, hits it hard, but there's no reason why Roberto Peña is playing so shallow. He has to play no doubles. With 2 outs, Arduan scores easily from first base.
How about that moment for Eric Kennedy, who has called this season for him a grind all year, trying to find adjustments. He's been frustrated, and he's got his team 1 win from Omaha.
What a turn of events and a turn of emotions here in this ball game in the 9th inning. Heck of a ball game, both.
In a span of what, 10 minutes? Final strike for USF. Game-tying home run from their injured freshman, Drew Brutcher. And then error at shortstop with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. And Kennedy wins it for the Horns. Safe to say we all missed this at this time last year.
No doubt we missed it. And again, the grit by Texas, not giving in at all. After that top half of the 9th inning, coming back.
Eric Kennedy joins us now. Eric, first of all, congratulations. How do you feel right now?
I can't describe it. You know, these are kind of moments you dream of as a little kid. And Mike and I were talking when I was on deck, though. Let's get the heck out of here. Let's end this right here. Got a pitch to do it with, and that's exactly what I did.
Now, what pitch did you get on that one?
Fastball. You know, Sky Report said fastball slider, so I was just trying to be on time, get the head out, and I was just trying to get a fastball right there.
Eric, for all you've been through personally this season, at times trying to find it, you've described it as a grind. What does this moment mean to you right now?
Oh, it means the world, having my teammates chase after me and the crowd get into it. It's amazing. These are the kinds of opportunities you work for. And, just got to keep your head down and keep grinding baseball. Baseball is a tough game. You're going to have your ups and downs, and luckily tonight was a big up.
How special has this environment been for you?
Oh, it's been amazing, finally opening up to full capacity. It's awesome playing in front of this crowd, they're always in every pitch, and just such a blessing to play here.
Eric, congratulations. We will let you celebrate this with your team. Thanks for the time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Hook 'em.
Man, how about that, Eduardo? Oh, and he gets the pie to the face.
We should have asked him one more. Should have asked him one more when he got it.
Wow, what a performance from Texas. They gave up the lead. They snatch it back. They win it on the walk-off. And they are one win away from Omaha. The back and forth down the stretch, just wild. And that does it here in Austin. Texas wins it in game one. For Eduardo Perez, our producer Ivan Hickman, our director Brad Sheldon, and our entire crew, Mike Monaco saying thanks very much for watching and so long from the dish.